At the top of your paper, you need to write Unit 8, Topic 3. Unit 8, Topic 3. And this will be solving square roots. Solving square roots. Okay. Today's date is the 25th. If I were you, I'd write that date down because as you've seen the past few weeks, I tell you what date your notes are on if you need to refer back to them. Your quiz is on Monday. My Zoomers, don't forget you have to have a stylus. If you are physically in my classroom, you have a choice of a stylus or pencil and paper. That'll be your choice, okay? Can I what? Oh. Sorry, there you go. All right, do not be absent on Monday because your test is on Wednesday, which means if you are absent on Monday, put it away or go get an office referral right now, my dear. In your backpack, please, where it goes. In your backpack, where it goes. If you miss your quiz on Monday, your test is still on Friday. So do not be absent Monday for your quiz, okay? So we are solving, and we've talked about this a lot this year. If we are solving, what does your answer look like? X equals something. X equals something, a number. K equals something. M equals something. Solving has to say letter equals something. Okay, so every answer in here should look exactly like that. Now, just like in our warm-up, to undo addition, we use subtraction. To undo multiplication, we do division. So today we are going to have a square root. A square root is the square root of x. And in order to undo it, we have to use a quadratic or an x squared. Okay? These go back and forth. So topic 3 is changing from a square root, solving, and topic 4 is going back and forth between the two types of equations. So in order to get rid of a square root, I use a quadratic. In order to get rid of a quadratic, I use a square root. We're going to do two problems together, okay? Let's write this down first though. When I am solving is PEMDAS, but we go backwards. Solving is PEMDAS backwards. So I always try to add or subtract first, then I try to multiply or divide. We are working outside in, okay? When I check my answers, I am actually doing PEMDAS, the real PEMDAS, starting at parentheses and going to adding and subtracting, okay? I like to write PEMDAS like this because multiply and divide are actually on the same level. You don't do one before the other. They're together at the same level. You have to choose which one to do based on your problem. So my first example is going to say 2 square root of x plus 1 minus 3 equals 5. Make sure it's written like mine. That minus 3 needs to be outside. We are solving, meaning we are working outside in. So what is outside? Something that is probably adding or subtracting. What is outside? That 3. So how am I going to get rid of it? We're going to add 3 to both sides. So I have 2 square root of x plus 1 equals 8. What am I going to do next? Divide by 2. You cannot distribute. That's why I didn't want you to do it in your warm-up. You cannot distribute. So we're going to divide by 2 on both sides. So I have the square root of x plus 1 equals 4. Here's where I want you to think before you speak. We are working outside in to the letter x. What is the next thing outside I need to get rid of? The square root. Very good. I have to get rid of that square root. It is not 4 because 4 is on the other side of my equal sign. Okay? I need to get rid of this square root. How do I get rid of a square root? I square it. So I'm going to take the entire left side and square. What I do on the left, I have to do on the right. So I'm going to square both sides. Now, just like adding, subtracting, they cancel each other out. Multiplying, dividing, cancel each other out. So when I square a square root, they cancel each other out. So all I have left is what's inside. X plus 1 equals something. What's it going to equal? 16. Where did 16 come from? 4 squared is 16. Going to subtract 1 from both sides. So x equals 15. Do not box it. Because before we can box it, we have to go check. Because when you have a square root, there are a lot of times you will get what's called extraneous. We're going to talk about it tomorrow. Extraneous solutions or extra answers. It's kind of like a false positive, okay? A false positive meaning it's not really an answer, but it looks like what? So I'm going to go rewrite my entire equation, but instead of the letter x, what number am I going to put in there? 15. So I have 15 plus 1. Everything else stays the same. This is a big question mark. Does it equal what I need it to? Okay. Now, since we are checking, we're starting inside and working out. So 15 plus 1 is 16. And still I want it to equal 5. What is the square root of 16? 4. So I'm going to write it in parentheses because if you can tell me what it is, I write it in parentheses. 2 times 4 is 8 minus 3. And 8 minus 3 is 5. So this is true. Since it is true, then x equals 15 can get a box because it is a good answer. Okay? It's not hard. It's just a lot of steps, right? We're going to do one more together. Okay? So I'm going to have 3 plus the square root of 2x minus 3 equals 8. What is my first step? What is outside that needs to be taken away? How? I'm subtracting. Why am I not dividing? It's not touching anything. It's not multiplying. So I'm subtracting 3 to both sides. So I have the square root of 2x minus 3 equals 5. What's my next step going to be? What's the most outside thing I have to get rid of? My square root. How do I get rid of a square root? I square both sides. What happens when I square a square root? That cancels out. So all that's left is what's inside. 2x minus 3 equals what? 25. Add 3 to both sides. So 2x equals 28. divide by 2. So x equals 14. Before I draw the box, I have to go check my work with the original. So 3 plus the square root of 2. Instead of x, what's going to go there? 14 minus 3 equals 8. It's a big question mark. Is that true? Does it equal 8? So 3 plus square root. What is 2 times 14? 28. Very good. What is 28 minus 3? 25. What is the square root of 25? Very good. Does 8 equal 8? So yes, it's true. What is my solution? My solution is what x equals, okay? My solution is what x equals. Questions? Okay, today, here's what I need from you today. If you are in my Zoom, then you are going to be on Class Kick today. So if you are in Zoom, your Class Kick code is 45AYQJ. If you're in my class, you can do it too. That's up to you. Okay? If you are on Zoom, Class Kick is your only source. That's where you have to do it. If you do it on paper, you have to learn how to take a picture and upload it. Because remember, starting February 1st on Monday, you have to have a stylus to take your quiz because all of this is required to be shown. Okay? You are physically in my class, you have 2 choices. Number 1, you may get on Class Kick. Number 2, there is a worksheet at your table, but you cannot write on it, okay? Write in your spiral, nice and neat. We are moving on to level 3 tomorrow. So today, you should be able to get through level 1 and level 2 before you leave my class today. If you cannot do those, level 3 will be nearly impossible. And I can guarantee you there's multiple of each level on your test. Your answer keys on your desk with the pink squigglies. Make sure you check on your neighbors and ask if they need help.